Luke Rockhold gets knocked out again in a vicious manner by Jan Blachowicz, who's not the hardest puncher in light heavyweight division. So I think I'm just gonna say that Rockhold's future in light heavyweight division is doomed because there are a lot of fighters who hits way harder than Blachowicz, like guys like Anthony Smith and Volkan Oezdemir, Ovince St. Preux. Like there are so many fighters who can punch way harder than Blachowicz. And for him to get knocked the fuck out like that against Blachowicz, it tells me that his future in light heavyweight is doomed. But he said in an interview, every interview, that he's gonna be the one to beat Jones. He was overlooking Blachowicz, and he just said, I'm just gonna run through Blachowicz, and I'm just gonna beat John Jones. Nobody can fuck me on the ground. But the thing is, Rockhold is not a good takedown artist. He's a phenomenal jiu-jitsu guy, but he's not a good takedown artist. Like he got taken down by Weidman, and he did some jiu-jitsu offense, and when he got on top, when Weidman threw a spinning wheel kick, and he failed, he grabbed a hold of Weidman's back, and they scrambled, and he ended up on top, and he mauled Weidman. But like when it happens to end up on the ground, he's a phenomenal fighter. But he's not a great takedown artist. Like he couldn't take down Vitor Belfort. He's just not a good takedown artist. So I think he cannot take down John Jones. Never. If he can't take down Blachowicz, how is he gonna take down John Jones? So I'm just gonna say that if he doesn't change something significantly in his game, his light heavyweight future is doomed. So let's talk about this fight. Rockhold looked big, he looked yoked, but he threw some power shots, some power leg kicks, head kicks, body kicks, straight out of right off the bat in the first round, but it had no setup at all. Like when you throw kicks without a setup, it's dangerous because you could get countered. I mean, he didn't get countered, but he threw head kicks with no setup at all. Like he thought he was gonna KO Blachowicz with KOs with head kicks in the first round. So but no setup at all, and he looked sloppy as fuck. He looked sloppy. And he looked big, but he was so sloppy. And he looked for takedowns, but he's not a great takedown artist, like I said. And his leg kicks were getting checked. Blachowicz, like Rockhold seemed like he was so cocky. He was like, I'm gonna run through this guy, and I'm gonna fight for the title eventually. I'm gonna beat John Jones. But Blachowicz was focused. He was calm. He was composed. Rockhold was conceive, achieve, believe, and Blachowicz told him, shut the fuck up, and he got knocked the fuck out. After 1 minute in the first round, he went for a takedown. He couldn't get it, and then he ended up on clinch, and then he got elbowed in the clinch, and then at the end of the first round, he gets head kicked with a left kick by Blachowicz, and Rockhold said, "Oh," in a stare down before the fight, he was like, "Oh, you got small feet," and Blachowicz said something, "You're gonna taste this small feet," and he did in a big way. Like he got knocked down and he was dazed. Like he was like, and Herb Dean, I think it was Herb Dean. Herb Dean said, "Hey, the round ended," and Rockhold was like, ugh. And then the second round started, and Rockhold went for clinch again. He went for clinch again, and it seemed like he was gonna go for takedown again. Like, I think if the fight ended up on the ground, I think he could have done something a lot better. Cause like I said, on the ground he's a beast. But the problem is he can't get it to the ground with his takedown skills. So he couldn't get the fight to the ground, and then eventually Blachowicz separated the clinch, and while they were separating, Blachowicz landed that big left hook. Every time left hand lands, it's a like left hook Larry by Michael Bisping, and Blachowicz said it in his interview post fight. Like he saw Michael Bisping landing the left hook, so he was gonna go for the left hook as well. He saw the shot in his dream, so he went for the head kick, and then I mean the left hook, and I don't know if that was a too big shot, but I think it was more it was more damaging because Luke didn't see it coming, like the way Daniel Cormier knocked out Stipe Miocic. It was right off the separation of the clinch. So I think maybe Luke didn't see it coming, so maybe it was more damaging. But Luke Rockhold got knocked out in like vicious way. Like he was out. Like he was on the ground. He was panting like like I feel sorry for Rockhold because I like him. Like except for the fight when he fought Weidman and Weidman and Bisping, I was rooting for him the whole time. Like, yes, Rockhold is cocky. He thinks he's better than every other fighters, which he's not. But he's likable in a weird way. He's funny. Like there's a video of him. There's a YouTube channel where someone made like Rockhold being Rockhold for like 9 minutes, and it's funny. Like Rockhold is funny in a weird way. He's not funny in a orthodox way, but in an unorthodox way. He's too confident, but he gets knocked the fuck out every single time, and that's funny. So I like him. So I was rooting for him this time. Like nothing against Blachowicz. I like Blachowicz, but I was just rooting for Rockhold. But I mean, man, he's got to fix. First of all, he's got to fix his attitude. Like he thinks that he's better than everyone on the planet, everyone else on the planet. But no, you're not. If you fight John Jones, you're gonna get mauled. If you fight, once he was scheduled to fight Alexander, what's his name? Alexander Gustafsson. If he had fought Alexander Gustafsson, he would have gotten knocked out in the first round. Believe you me. Like, if he fights Anthony Smith, I think he's gonna get knocked down. Like, he's gotta fight smarter. Like, he kicks with no setup at all, and he looked sloppy. He looked a bit tired. Like, he looked out of a source, and he looked weird, sloppy, slow, tired, too overconfident. Like Luke Rockhold, he's got to fix his attitude first, and then he's got to change his game. Like he's got skills. Like he's a good build. Like he's looking good. Like he has powerful hands. He has powerful kicks. Very, very dangerous ground game. But he's got to change something with his attitude and his technique as well. He's just not setting it up. The kicks, he's not setting it up. He's got to change something. But it's a big win for Blachowicz. I'm happy for him. I'm sorry for Rockhold for getting knocked the fuck out again. So, but it is what it is. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.